Welcome to 𝐄𝐓𝐇𝐄𝐂, we talk about investing, finance, and professional development. As the current time of 8:52 a.m. on Eastern Time on the 4th day of August, by the way, Ethereum closed at $1,618, down about 0.04% so far. Let's talk over crypto market and equity market on this Thursday morning so far. It's across the board relatively flat, right? As Wall Street and we are collectively waiting on the new economical data that's coming out around the weekly jobless claim number. And obviously with respect to the non-farm payroll number that's also coming out as well. And on the high level, synopsis on the, market sentiment so far, I would say across the spectrum on the news front, it's kind of a mixed bag, right? There isn't a lot of activeness going on, especially we are in the mid of the summertime. But with respect to like some news related to the recent earnings or banks revising their price target for respective stocks, across the spectrum is kind of a mixed bag, right? But nothing really driving up or down the needle, if you may. So I think the big catalyst that we have to be looking out for today would be, are we meeting expectations with respect to the non-farm payroll number? Or are we missing it by a large margin? Right? If we are going to be just marching towards just aligned with expectation, we should ideally see some bullish pressure, which is makes a lot of sense. But if we are, seeing, a digression, right, which based on the foreshadow, some of the, I guess, evidence that we've been collecting so far, from layoffs to, corporate adjustments on the human capital front, especially in the tech sector, shaving like 18 to 25% of workforce, the jobless claim number should logically be rising in comparisons to expectation. So again, I don't really have the statistics in front of me, nor can I make the logical prediction because there's a lack of data for me to even stitch that together. But I think just based on observation, we should be seeing some negative numbers, in comparisons to expectation. So we'll see how that goes, right? Because, and ultimately on a technical front, you could see that we've been quite extended for quite some time. If you look into the technical, you could see that we've been extended ever since on the 23rd of June. And we've been stretching it basically approximately a month and so. Now we're seeing a death cross slowly, right? And we have been getting rejected every single time around like the 65 out of 70. So ideally seeing some, again, normalization. I'm not seeing a major correction, but normalization around these time frame, especially on the fact that next Wednesday, so we're basically 6 days away from now, the CPI report depicting the month of July is coming out. So hopefully, we will be meeting expectation, but we should ideally see some anticipatory pressure ahead of the report coming out, obviously. And we'll see how the investor sentiment will look like. And with that being said, Monday will be a critical day, and obviously Friday, with that weekend affectation. So Friday and Monday will give us a good level of like what's the momentum looking like shifting on to the 10th of August coming up, right? But on a technical front, you could see that we clearly are, quite extended for quite some time on a daily. But if you look at this on a weekly, we are quite bullish. We're about to form a golden cross. And also on the monthly as well, you could see that we've been extended and forming a plateau already. So I do like it in the long term, not like a super far out, but just like weeks and months out, we should ideally see some bullish pressure. But in the near term, daily, we need to see some normalization ahead, okay? And also on Bitcoin, you could see that we're seeing something very comparable. Daily, you could see that we're about to form a death cross as well, so crossing down. So still doing the zigzag that we've been experiencing so far. At the 54 out of 70, at the same time, you could see that we clearly got canceled at 60 out of 70 on RSI scale. So, you could see that we have also crossed up for quite some time since the 24th of June. So, for quite some time now, right? And you could only stretch up for so long, for a month and so now. So, ideally seeing some like short-term normalization, not a correction, makes a lot of sense, especially with the timing of the FOMC meeting, with the CPI report that's coming out. And then on the weekly, you can see that we're crossing up as well. So looking for some sort of a bullish pressure, weeks out or months out makes a lot of sense. And also on the monthly, you see a plateau on the RSI as well. So that means we are slowly building a launching pad, if you may. Okay. And then on the altcoin side of the house, I would say collectively we're quite comparable in terms of the, technical. Seems like on the short term, see some normalization. Long term, and I'm talking about weeks and months out, we should ideally see some bullish pressure. So I do see maybe the second half of the market of this year, we should ideally see some bullish pressure ahead. Okay. So that's pretty much it. I don't really see any specific major news that we really need to look into. Just more news around layoffs and corporate adjustments, price target adjustments from banks and stuff like that collectively. So hopefully this is helpful. It's a shorter one than typical because of lack of media affectation. So there isn't really anything that's really worth mentioning. But across the spectrum, my gut feel is that it's going to be, I'm guessing it's going to be a negative report. And then subsequent to that, we should see some anticipatory pressure ahead of the CPI report. And I don't know, it might be a surprise for next week. So we'll see. All right, hopefully, and have a good day. Take care.